This is Kevin Mayo, and today we're drinking White Lion without exception. This is not really a review today. This is more of a beer talk. A couple of months ago, I really started to try to get back into the swing of things. I had been real lackadaisical about it, and I got COVID. So I was down for, it was 2 weeks straight, but I still really wasn't up to a lot for like close to a month. Then it was the holidays, and I just totally got out of the loop again. So now I'm back. I want to try to get going again. And I said White Lion's a good place to start because the other day driving around my car, I listened to the podcast with Ray and Mike, and oh god, I'm blanking on the name of the podcast, but can't think of it. So, but it was a really interesting podcast. I didn't realize that you guys had been around that long at this point. You talked about your first beer was Pale Ale. I had to look it up. I knew I had reviewed it. I reviewed it and I wrote it down. December 12/15 of 2014. So 7 years ago, I did my first White Lion review. So I am going to crack your lovely stout with chocolate and vanilla right now and give ourselves a little pour of that. Yeah, so just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about beer and stuff like that tonight. So typical stout. And I know, Mike, that you brewed lots of stouts. You told me in your podcast, cannot see a thing through it. We have about 2 fingers of nice brown head on it. This is 6.0, so it's not a over-the-top imperial stout. It's a nice base stout, right in the range where a stout should be. 5.5, 6, maybe 6.5%. So Aroma. We got some nice chocolate in there. I'm not really picking up much vanilla, but that's not, could be me. Oh wow, the chocolate really got stronger there. Maybe a little bit of black coffee, a little bit of milk chocolate. Maybe a hint of the vanilla now. Definitely milk chocolate would be the prevailing aroma on it. So, where was I? Talking about Mike, White Lion, Mike and Ray at White Lion, just great guys. They've done tons for the Western Mass brewery scene. They're real true pioneers, but they really still give back to the community. Their place is going to be open to the public one of these days shortly when the COVID runs away from us. And we look forward to being able to go in and have a few beers with those guys. In general, I don't know if you guys are seeing this out there. You can leave me comments if you are. I seem to think that we're not out of the Haze Boy craze, the New Englands, but it seems to me all of a sudden there seems to be a renaissance of other styles coming back. We're zigging a little bit away from everything being a hazy, opaque, citrus, vegetable matter mess. I mean, they just get to be so cloying sometimes. And I drink a shitload of them, so it's not like I don't like them. But they just get to be so cloying. You lose some of that just basic, nice drinkability. In other words, everybody's trying to top the next guy. I can put Sabro hops in, I can put Mosaic in, I can put Galaxy in, but let's just something nice and drinkable. I've seen a few brown ales come onto the market around here, specifically Skyline and Great Awakening have both had some excellent brown ales that have been out there. I can't think of anybody else, and the guys that have come online in the last 4 or 5 years that have brewed a brown ale. We're seeing some more Pilsners and lagers coming out. Sours, obviously, they've been a trend for a while. So I just think we're getting some diversity. A little bit. I haven't seen quite as much in the way of saisons. I would like to see a few more saisons come around. But again, that's kind of an acquired taste. And I'm even seeing out on the internet and stuff like that, I'm also seeing a little bit of a resurgence of seeing some Belgians again. And that is a style that just totally tanked over the last 3 or 4 years when the New Englands took off. Let's do our first taste. Yeah, milk chocolate up front, then I get milk chocolate, just a hint of black coffee at the back of the tongue. I would say mouthfeel is leaning towards the creamy side. It's not overly creamy, but there's no astringency or sharpness to it. It's got a nice smooth mouthfeel to it. You do get the vanilla. I meant to throw that in there. Oh, excuse me. So you do get a hint of the vanilla. Again, it's just kind of a touch of it. I said it went chocolate, milk chocolate, coffee, vanilla in that order. I'm getting a little coating on the tongue at this point. This is really, really, really good. I would give, this is definitely an A beer. I haven't been rating that much, but we're right up there. For a nice middle of the road stout, I shouldn't say middle of the road, but more of a, it's not a dry or an export stout, and it's not a lactose malt stout. At least I don't think there's any lactose in it. There's no mention of it. So it's not really a milk stout, but just for a nice, solid stout without going over bells and whistles, a little bit of chocolate in it, some vanilla in it. Really excellent job. Good job, Mike. Appreciate what you're doing for us. I think I'm going to leave it here. Again, I didn't want to do a full thing. I just kind of wanted to mention I wanted to give some thanks to Mike and Ray for being around as long as they have, finally realizing their vision. I wanted to mention where I've been for the last couple of months. Wanted to talk about the beer, of course. And, I love all you guys, and hopefully we'll have some beer fest this upcoming year. We can see each other again. We can get out. Till next time, keep drinking.